So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm talking about the brand new album by the band Hulder, and it's called Verses in Oath. And I want to get this right out of the way. I'm not a huge black metal fan. I'm not like a connoisseur of black metal. I know there's some other YouTubers that really know this genre. I listen to some now and then, but it's not my favorite genre of music. But this is a band that I got the promo for, and there's a lot of buzz with this band. And they're going to headline the Decibel Tour for 2024. So I'm like, yeah, they're a huge deal. So I listened to the album, I saw the music video for the single, Harken the End, and you gotta watch the music video. It's eerie, and that song captures all the elements that this album has in the 10 songs. So Verses in Oath is an album that can be described as atmospheric, moody black metal. And it's an album that I would say is the tale of two halves. Like the first half of the album is kind of different from the second half in some ways. So the album has like 3 interludes, and it starts with an interlude called an elegy. And it sets the mood. You can hear like a crow in the distance, and you can hear like the sound of like snow. And I know, for someone who lives in Puerto Rico, what the fuck do I know about snow? Well, I've seen snow when I lived in the States, so I know a little bit. So you can feel that like chill of the Northwest with that song, and it sets the tone. And sometimes, interludes are, I think like, but in this case, this interlude really sets the mood for the first half of the album, which I would say is the first 3 songs, which is Bows Ablaze, Harken the End, and Verses in Oath. So that first half of the album, I would say, is the most melodic part of the songs on the record. Even though there's some brutality in them, I think the songs take more time and play with different sounds. There's some black metal type of singing, but there's also some like beautiful singing on top of that, especially on the single Harken the End, which is a 7.5-minute song, and it's one of my favorite songs on the record. I like it because it plays with atmosphere, and the pacing is great, and you feel like an eeriness like throughout the whole song. And you can feel it like you get goosebumps when you listen to that song. It's just a great track. And then that first half of the album, I like it because it's more melodic. The second half of the album, I think it's more brutal and harsher. So what they do when they divide the album, they have Lamentation and an Offering. Those are like the type of interludes. So Lamentation, you hear like some whispering, and it sounds like the fucking Exorcist is coming. So it really, again, sets the mood for the second half. And an Offering is like a 2 minutes and 44-second like song that it's more like building the mood for the 7th song, which is Cast into the Well of Remembrance. And that one has more like blast beats into it, and it's more harsher, more in your face. And that's what the second half of the album does. The second half of the album is more brutal, but it does have some melodies on songs like album closer, Veil of Penitence, so that I like. But if I would have to say something that I like more of this album, is the first half. I like it more when it gets more melodic, because there's parts on these songs like Vessel of Suffering and Enchanted Steel that sometimes the vocals, because there's so much noise, that sometimes the vocals get a little bit buried in the mix for me and kind of take me off a little bit, but they're not bad songs. And I can really tell why this band is getting so much hype, because it's a really great album. I think Hulder has a great sound, and I would like to see them more experiment with the atmospheric side. I think when they blend the atmospheric side, it gives it a little bit of an edge, because sometimes like pure like black metal from the 90s can be so harsh and abrasive that sometimes I can't enjoy the music as much. But when they bring in those atmospherics and melody to it, I enjoy it more. So I think that's a good thing. And I think the production on this album is pretty good. So just some parts when the production gets a little bit buried in the beats, the singing. But besides that, I think this is a very solid release, and I see why Hulder is getting so much praises for Verses in Oath, which is coming out on 20 Bucks Ping, February 9th. And you know what? 20 Bucks Pings has some great bands. So I think if you like black metal, especially if you like atmospheric black metal, you will enjoy this. Very promising band, and I'm glad that I got to listen to it. And I can listen to it and appreciate, because I'm not a huge black metal fan. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is not pure black metal from the 90s. I do not want it. So yeah, I wanna know from you guys, what do you think of Verses in Oath by Hulder? What are your favorite tracks from this album? And do you think the hype for this band is warranted? And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like, and do not forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.